Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. It is Tuesday. I've already looked at the Kroger preview ad. We'll be doing an ad review a little later. This morning I've been really super busy with everybody. I did try to bring Cider back down here, and she's just not ready. She's not ready. So I scooped her back up and I took her back to her stall. I need to start putting some collagen peptides in her food, possibly, just some extras. She's not her strong self, obviously. Um, she don't have any blood or anything showing, so I wasn't too worried. I did watch her with the girls, though. A couple of the girls, if you've ever seen dogs, they stiffen up and they're going side by side, like, I'm not going to attack you if you don't attack me, but I'm ready just in case. Well, that's kind of what was going on with those chickens. Cider has never been a dominant chicken. As a matter of fact, she's just a year old this past October, so she's one of the younger groups. And she was always like distant. She was part of the flock, but she would always kind of stay distant, and some chickens would follow her on her excursions. Now, you got to understand, these chickens thought she was dead. The last time they saw her, a big black dog was killing her. So it was kind of like, I don't know if they were like, is that really Cider? Am I seeing a ghost? Let me check this bird out. But everything was going good. The only one that I kind of saw a little iffy with was one of the black girls. One of my younger black girls was kind of like a puffing up on her. Spitfire, one of my gray birds, my bluebonnet hybrid, she kind of fluffed up a little bit, but then she was like, oh, okay. And they started grazing together. So I don't think she's going to have a problem with the girls and integrating back into the group. Um, but it's Tut being on her that concerns me the most. She's not strong enough, and I watched him as he mounted Phoenix and the way he had his feet going, and I was like, no. So then that's when I walked in and scooped her up and took her back. So Cider is back up. The vet came and saw Lily yesterday. She seems to think there's no break or fracture, that it's just a pull. She gave her a shot, and Lily was stoned most of the day yesterday. As a matter of fact, she like really freaked me out at one point. Pigeon is a gray yearling. She is the one that I hatched last year that I could barely get to live. Like every other day, I was pulling her, giving her extra Pedialyte or scrambled eggs or something a little bit more, some soy-based, some milks put into to the food and baby food and all of that. I watched Lily grab her by the back twice and flip her, like with her mouth, grab her and flip her twice. And all Pigeon was trying to do was to go across Lily's back and into where they all were laying eggs. And I could not believe what I saw. I don't know. I've never seen Lily be mean to the chickens. When she was younger, she would grab them, like when they would be roosted up there, she would grab them by the tails or something like that. But she never really hurt them. But that was pretty violent. So I don't know what's going on. Is she hurting that bad? Is she that angry? But this morning she's angry at me because I made her get up and go to a different part of her stall. Which she got up, she relieved herself, let me brush all the chicken hoo-ha off of her because, yeah, she gets pooped on. So I got all that brushed off of her. She ate a little bit. She probably ate all of the grapes and apple and then came back down and laid down at the gate because she's nosy and she wants to see everything, which is putting the chickens in a bind because they want to get behind her. And so hopefully she don't kill any of my chickens or hurt them. While I was trying to film this video outside in the truck, my fencer dude pulled up. So we're talking about the fence line and so on and so forth and some of the stuff going on. And he also is hatching some Indio Giganta eggs. Mine come in Thursday or Friday. You always hope for Thursday, but it could be Friday. I got to get my incubator absolutely tip-top shape ready. I need to bring in another brooder for these guys. I'm going to let them stay in the house a little bit longer. I'm going to make it to where we can still maneuver because I've got a huge tote that comes in for their final in-house tote before I move them to the brooder barn. Um, so he's kind of wanting to trade some of the bloodlines, so on and so forth. And my thing is we won't be able to do that till next year. I'm not going to get rid of the babies until I know what color eggs they're laying at 6 months old. So that's when I do my trading at this point in time, because I want to know what I've got laying what color eggs. These 9 in here, it doesn't really matter. I know I know one of those little roosters, he's going to have to go somewhere other than being a good tame bird. Unless I pull him and just work with him every single day. He attacks me all the time, and he literally tries to spur me and bite me already, and he's not even 2 weeks old yet. So he's a turd bucket rooster. And I get one of them every now and again. Oddball last year turned out to be quite the little turd ball rooster, and he went to Curry. I'm just saying. So this little rooster's as mean as Oddball was, which he already is. Oddball wasn't that mean until he got about 4 months old. So anyway, we're going on with that. Okay, so yesterday I did a video about Pope Francis and the J.D. Vance thing. I am told what to say and what not to say and how to say it. If you don't want to be here and you don't like my message and you don't like what I'm saying, don't click on there. Just bypass it. You know, if the only videos that you watch are my videos about MAGA, if they're not about the chickens, if it's not about grocery shopping, if it's not about odds and ends on the farm, or just a fun video about things, and you're only watching the MAGA videos to make comments, then you're not doing my channel any good. If you want to participate in some of the grocery hauls, if you want to participate in some of the chicken videos I do with the babies, that's great. But if all you're going to do is tell me you should not do this, you shouldn't do that on the MAGA videos, then you need not be here. Bye. And don't let the door hit you. Okay? Because what I'm going to tell you is Pope Francis, his views are for humanity. Vance's views is for power and Project 2025. Even though Vance is a crossdresser and he's about ready to pop a smoky eye, as the girls from I've Had It said, um, he doesn't stand for humanity. He doesn't stand for immigration, migrants. And that's definitely what Pope Francis was an advocate for. So, you know, I didn't say Vance killed the Pope like a lot of other people did. Wow. But what I'm telling you is that we know what the number 2 said to Vance. We know it is documented of what the conversation was like. And to think that the Pope is going to say something different than what he sent number 2 to talk about when he did finally talk to Vance would be ignorant. Okay? Vance isn't even for his own children or his wife. Okay, because they're not white. And isn't that what MAGA is all about? White Christian nationalists. I'll tell you what, Stephen Miller. I wish Stephen Miller was in the backyard here trying to catch one of my chickens. We'll just put it that way. Okay? All right. I want to talk about Easter. The Easter before this past Easter, it fell on Pride Day. And MAGA cried and screamed and hollered and whined and bitched and complained about Pride Day being on the same day as Easter and Biden saying something about Pride Day during the Easter roll. Whatever. You have Trump, who sold the Easter roll to the highest bidder. If you had children that lived in DC that normally went to the Easter roll and would get the tickets, so on and so forth, they the only way they would have gotten a ticket this year is if their parents would have paid 70,000 plus to get them there. Branding, selling sponsorships, commercializing the Easter event at the White House. That's horrible. MAGA, if you still think that Trump is for you and you still think that Trump is doing a great job with our economy, he's not. If you think that the protesters out there on the streets are fake, they're not. They're not being paid. Those are real people. Those are we the people. And every time I hear people say that the majority of people in this country are MAGA, that's not true. You need to go look at the facts a little bit. It's not true. More than half of the people are anti-Trump than are for Trump. If you look at the actual numbers of votes, it's a very slim majority, like 1.8%. It's not a landslide. It's not a majority. Because there are people that voted for other candidates as well. From one Easter to the other, you all threw fits about Biden talking about pride, but you're not throwing fits about Trump. Just commercializing Easter at the White House. I don't get it. Y'all don't see it. Why? Whoever your influencers are, kudos to them. Are they QAnon? Conspiracy theorists? All I can say is, you all are such hypocrites. And my message is, MAGA, quit being hypocrites. Know where your butter is. Know where your bread is buttered. Right? It's not buttered by Trump. Granny's bread is not buttered by Trump. Maybe that don't make sense to you. Maybe it don't make sense to me, because I really have a hard time with that. You're not okay with this, but you're okay with something worse. Anti-Trump protesters are real. They are we the people. So when you start talking about the protesters being paid, that's ridiculous. I've got to go. I've got things to do. This is like the third try I've tried to make this video. So I don't know if it made sense or not, but I hope it did. I will be doing a Kroger and JC preview ad review here sometime. But right now I need to go run and see. I hear more noises outside than I like. So I got to get on it. You all have a great day. Hugs from a distance.